Okay, so this is a new one that I started doing, and it was kind of a hit. Write reviews post closing for the realtors.
Okay.
So listing agent, even if it's not one that you've already, this is more of somebody that you haven't connected with, but a listing agent, and they were decent to work with. When the deal's closed, you write them a review on Google. So it's just a touch point. Half the
Oh,
time
that is
they'll
a great, especially if you're like, hey, I thought you were amazing. Is it okay if I like ask them? They're not
yes,
going to say no. But if you ask
exactly.
permission, then
That's one step further than I take it, but yeah, absolutely.
but then you're opening a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you can call them, and the whole conversation could be like, hey, you did an awesome job. Can I leave you a review? Do you want it on Google or do you want it on Zillow? And
Yeah.
ask them where they want it. And that is, I've never even heard of that. That's
I know, I
genius.
made it up. It's like,
That's genius.
yes, I thought so. And I've actually had some of them reach back out, even though I don't make that phone call. That's even better. I just don't like talking to people. So they've
That's my
reached
job.
out and said thank you so much. And it was wonderful working with you. And I have actually gotten deals. That's how I landed a Tucson realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we did like 4 deals together in a
That
2-month
is
period.
genius.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the LO Code Podcast, where we talk about everything from marketing to just general loan bullshit.
Hey everyone, welcome to the LO Code, and today we are going to be talking about cultivating realtor partnerships.
Interesting.
Yes, so I mean, that's one of the biggest things that people come to us and ask us for
Mm-hmm.
is how do we get realtors? How do we keep realtors happy? Because there's a long list of things that you can do,
Yep.
especially things that I do, like on the back end,
Yes.
that make a really great experience. So it's not just about making it great for your clients, but about making it great for the realtors too, because then they just trust you and bring you more business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the number one best practice is or best way to attract more good partners?
To attract them.
Mm-hmm. Or do
Um,
you want to talk more about keeping them happy?
well, I was going to start with keeping them happy. Um, I think the
Oh, so
number.
that means you got to stay around for how to attract them. So we'll get
Yeah.
to that part.
That's
Okay.
just the order that I wrote it in, so that's the order my brain thinks
No, that's smart.
in.
So let's talk about keeping your partners happy that you already have.
Yeah. Number one, be available. I mean, that's part of our job. We can have boundaries, but especially if you're new to the business, you really can't have as many of those boundaries. You're trying to make sure that you're available all the time. You can't afford to miss a client
Right.
because they're calling you at night. Whereas, when you're more established, you're like, I'm not answering the phone after 9.
Mm-hmm.
So being available for those realtors to ask you questions, to say, hey, I have a referral, and them knowing that you're going to pick up and take care of them at that time. I think that's really how we solidified our place in this business.
Right. So let's go dig into like the communication part. So if
Yeah.
someone calls you and you can't take it, you need to text message them back right away.
Yes.
Like if it's somebody that you're building a relationship with or that is a trusted partner, communication is key. So just because you can't take a call doesn't mean you can't communicate through a text saying, "Hey, I'm in a meeting," or "Hey, I'm finishing up,
Yep.
something right now. I'll call you back ASAP."
Yeah. I usually try to give a time thing. Hey, I'm in a meeting. I'll be out in 15 minutes or whatever the case may be.
Right. So, with that being said, text messages, how quickly does someone need to respond to a text message?
Somebody or my crazy self. I try to answer back within 15 minutes. I mean, and
Minimum?
that's like tops.
Right.
I usually I have my phone sitting in front of me. It's on silent because it bugs me having all the notifications. But during work, especially during work hours, my phone's in front of my face so that I
Mm-hmm.
can react quickly. Because it's huge when you're
I have it,
establishing yourself.
I'm a freak about it. I try to be like instant. And so
Unless they email you.
we're gonna get into email, but text message, I have it going to my computer so it
Mhm.
pops up as a notification like, hey, you got a text. So that's how I do that. Now, email, what's an acceptable time frame to get back to somebody?
Now, see, when
Not a week like me.
no, right? Oh,
I'm the
if you
worst.
ever even see it,
I'm the worst
I
at
go
email.
through his emails to make sure that things aren't falling through the cracks.
If you want me,
Um,
text me, Facebook me,
and I'm like
Instagram
the
me.
opposite. Please don't text me. I'm on my email. My email has notifications that pop up on my phone.
So what's an acceptable time frame to reply to somebody? Within an hour?
I'd say within an hour.
And
And
some
there's
people like me take days. And I mean, I've lost business because of it.
yes, but that is one of those things too where there's a boundary. If I get an email, sometimes I'll get them at 10 o'clock at night, and it takes everything in me to not look at
But
it
that's why you
because
manage my email.
yes,
So if you're not good at email, have somebody that
I think
manages
that
it
you
for you.
have to be good at email though in this business.
Yeah, you do.
You do. Like you don't like it, but I'm also controlling yours and you've had me to rely on. Otherwise, you would have had to be better
Right.
because everybody sends everything through email. Realtors aren't calling me half the time. They're emailing me.
But I mean, that's the key point. If you're not good at that, then you need to have an assistant that is and manages that.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the communication part. And is there anything else in keeping your partners happy before
Oh,
we?
I've got 9.
Holy
I've got
moly!
9 ways. Okay, here, hold on. Let me get my handy sheet that I wrote on here. Okay, so this one should be a given, but I see it all the time in this industry. Don't be condescending. Not only to
Mm,
realtors, but to clients. Like we've had some people that we've met in this industry, whether it be realtors or loan officers, and they're so condescending that I'm like, I could never refer that person anybody. I would be embarrassed to because
yeah,
they are rude.
yeah,
Not even necessarily rude, condescending.
right.
So,
Like, oh, you should know that, or what? Why are you asking me this?
or yeah, or just that higher, you know, better than thou type of attitude. And I don't like it. And I don't think clients like it. So it's just something to check yourself on.
Mm-hmm.
You can, you know, spread your knowledge without being a dick.
Right. That kind of goes into I found that people hate hearing no. And so I try not to just say no. I try to
Yeah.
say, oh, that's an interesting question. I'm going to dig into, even if I know it's probably no, but sometimes like if you don't double check, especially in this industry, there might be a program or a way to push something through. So I try to never just be like, oh no, we can't do anything with that, because you say that enough times to the same person and they just stop asking.
Oh, and going back to the communication thing in general, one of the things that we do with realtors, they can ask questions. And if we don't know the answer right away, or a client, we don't know the answer right away, we'll be like, hey, guidelines change.
Mm-hmm.
Let me check up on that and call you back. And that way you're not answering out of your ass. And
Right.
because I've done it before and then looked back and been like, oh, this updated guideline. So if you're not 100% sure, give yourself an out that way. You can call them back anyways. And it just makes that relationship better because they know that not only can they trust what you're saying, but that you'll go the extra mile to figure out the answer.
Cool. All right, next one.
Okay, we've got this is an easy one. Weekly rate updates. So just
Mm-hmm.
another way to stay in front of your partners. You can even have like a thing that you make in Canva that you can just pop numbers into every week and just, what you're seeing as far as VA conventional FHA, USDA if it's in your area. And that's just one touch point.
And even better, make a bomb loom video, something like that, that's a companion to the print. Because some
Yeah.
people want to hear it, some people want to watch it, and some people want to read it. So if you can put all 3 out in an email, then you're covering everyone's bases, how they want to be communicated to.
Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, and then market update. So throw in a market update with it. Number 4 or 5, I don't even know. Send pre-approved buyers. I mean, what's better than them getting business from you?
Right.
And I know that a lot of people that are newer in the industry are really stressed out about pre-approved buyers, but that's where social media comes in and building up that base. So that's kind of the way that we were able to develop the relationships that we had with realtors is not only did they see us a lot on social media, but we had pre-approved buyers and we could refer them to these realtors.
Yeah, I can't
And
remember.
my
Have we done
pre-approvals
an
are gold. So
Yes.
that's another thing. I know what I'm doing. My pre-approvals are solid, so they know that if I'm giving them somebody, there are not going to be issues during the process.
Right. And have we already done an optimized social media thing yet on this podcast?
It's going to be in our New Year thing.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I mean, we do need to. We'll put something.
We told
out
what
there,
not
but
to do, but yeah, there's definitely ways. Like people are like, well, how do you get, people that want to buy through social media? A lot of it's your
local
profile.
celebrity
Yep.
profile. There's so many different things that you can do.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, next one.
listing highlight videos. So
Mhm.
whether, you're sharing a video that a realtor puts out there, or you are, going to the listing yourself, share what your realtors are doing. That's just another way to support them, and, another touch point for them.
Right.
So that one's pretty easy. Um, Teaching them, holding classes is a huge way to support your realtor partners. Um,
You can
go,
do it virtual. You can do it in person. You can
yeah.
do it at a title company. You can do it at. We did it at a Total
I
Wine.
think the in person, in
The in
person
person,
does do more
it
because
does.
they get to see a little bit more of your personality. You have a little bit more time to BS after the fact. I think that one at Total Wine, we sat there for an extra hour
Hmm.
just talking.
And record
And
it because
yeah,
so you might have your current referral partners come, but you might have new ones come. Some people can't make it. So if you're providing value, make sure that you can get that out to all of your people, not just the ones you're trying to get, but also the ones that you're currently serving.
yes. So if you don't have, we've taught social media and stuff. If you don't have something like that to share with them, market stuff. Loan programs are always huge. Leroy Romero, you guys probably know him. Everybody I feel like knows Leroy. He does VA. So he
Hmm.
travels all around the country teaching realtors about VA loans and why they're awesome. So just find something to share. Okay, we've got open houses. Go to open houses, deliver treats, share when your realtors post that. Now, I would recommend calling them first and not just showing up, but
Why not?
why not? Well, because there could be a lot of it's uncomfortable. It's weird.
I don't think so.
I think it's
For
weird.
you,
Yeah, I'm a little antisocial, but
you get the vibe. If someone doesn't want you there, you just leave. You can just be like, "Oh, hey, stopping in. I'm a loan officer." And
no, I
I mean, but we're
totally.
talking about these are we're still talking about the people you know, right?
Well, this is, cultivating relationships. So whether you're trying to get somebody new, if you have somebody, if you know them and you're like buddies and you send each other deals and
Well,
stuff
that's what
all
we
the
were talking.
time.
We were talking about how to keep the relationship going. You don't have to like. I mean, I guess I would text and be like, "Yo, I'm rolling through
Yeah, but
with a
so
coffee
some of
for
these
you. What do
things,
you
like
want?"
even if it's a realtor that you've never worked with, if you send them weekly rate updates, they're going to appreciate it.
Right.
So that's still building a relationship, even though you don't technically have one yet.
That okay. That's true. And if you do show up, like, if you don't want to sit at an open house all day, which some
Yeah.
people don't, just dropping by and bringing them a coffee or something goes a long way.
Yeah. Like I was thinking, Skylar Welch does these cute little baskets that she has her listing agents. I think they come and pick them up from her office, and there's just water and popcorn and stuff like that. So I think that's just a really cute way to show that you care.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a new one that I started doing, and it was kind of a hit. Write reviews post closing for the realtors.
Okay.
So listing agent, even if it's not one that you've already, this is more of somebody that you haven't connected with, but a listing agent and they were decent to work with. When the deal's closed, you write them a review on Google. So it's just a touch point. Half the
Oh,
time
that is a great, especially if you're like, "Hey, I thought you were amazing. Is it okay if I like ask them?" They're not
yes,
going to say no. But if you ask
exactly.
permission, then
That's one step further than I take it, but yeah, absolutely.
but then you're opening a conversation,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you can call them, and the whole conversation could be like, "Hey, you did an awesome job. Can I leave you a review? Do you want it on Google or do you want it on Zillow?" And
Yeah.
ask them where they want it. And that is, I've never even heard of that. That's
I know I
genius.
made it up. It's like,
That's genius.
yes, I thought so. And I've actually had some of them reach back out, even though I don't make that phone call. That's even better. I just don't like talking to people. So they've
That's my
reached
job.
out and said thank you so much, and it was wonderful working with you. And I have actually gotten deals. That's how I landed a Tucson realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we did like 4 deals together in a
That
2-month
is
period.
genius.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
If
I know.
anyone's watching this part, like that right there is worth watching this whole thing.
Okay. And then just, we're going back to communication again, but approvals, weekly updates. Guys, don't make them guess when things happen. So in the state of Arizona, we have a loan status update, which is a form that we actually have to fill out and send to both of the agents. But I just take that form and I update it whenever anything happens. The CD goes out. That's another touch point. Hey, agents, the CD went out and was signed on this date. This is the next step. hey, I ordered the appraisal, listing
Mm-hmm.
agent, they should be calling you in 24 to 48 hours. Let me know if that doesn't happen. It's due on this date. So I'm constantly sending them emails, not talking to them, and they think that the communication is wonderful. They never come to me asking questions. It's so irritating
Right.
when they come and ask questions, especially if you have a bunch of deals going on. Stay in front of it. They don't have questions. You look awesome.
And this is how, when you talk to Andy's going to be on one of the podcasts, Andy Price, and most of his business comes from just being an excellent communicator
Hmm.
and being on it
Yeah.
for 20 years straight,
Hmm.
and he just builds those relationships. It's amazing.
Yep. I have them coming back all the time. So, all right. Those are my key points on how to keep the relationships great.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can talk about finding realtor partners, which that's more of your forte
Yes.
because you'd like to talk to people. Um, but I guess the first one would be social media.
Yes. Social media. Make it, no, like this is what we always come back to is put content out that is entertaining, educational, and shows that you're an expert. And that's how we've attracted quite a few of our partners is because they watch our content and go,
Yep.
I like your content. You know what you're doing. I just had something like a partner that's not working out. I want to work with you.
Because that's the whole thing. You're showing that you're an expert over and over and over again without anybody asking. And we try to do it in a fun way.
Exactly.
So, but another part of it is that's how you find realtors. So I know that you look up realtors on like Instagram and Facebook. You start following them,
Mm-hmm.
commenting on things. So that gets you on their radar quicker.
Right. And it's just like if you were building a real relationship off of social media, is you're going to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And with social media, the way that you do it is just start liking some of their posts, like seeing what they're into, what they're doing, make some comments. And then if something really cool that maybe you have mutual like knowledge about or that you're into, then that's when you send a message. It's like, hey, I've been following you and I saw that you're into XYZ. So am I. That's really cool. Like, where do whatever, like whatever that topic for me, it would be like mountain biking or dirt biking, as I've
Yeah.
met, quite a few people that way and just like, hey, I just saw that you dirt bike. What kind of bike do you have? And then instant friends.
Yeah.
Instant.
Well, you make friends so fast. You have a lot of hobbies. So you can't be boring and not have people know who you are because you're boring.
I just talk about what I know they're into and that I know I'm into, and then it's not forced.
Yeah.
If you choose a topic that they're into and you're not, they're gonna know right away. Like you have to find that common ground, and then it's not even, you don't even have to try. It's not like, oh, what am I gonna say here? What am I gonna do? That it just becomes natural.
Yeah.
And then if you build a relationship off of that because you connect, you don't even have to ask for, like, a lot of people ask me or they're like, dude, we work together. You've never asked me if I have a deal for you. I'm like, I don't need to. Like, you know what I do. You know I'm good at what I do. When you have something, you're going to send it, right? And they're like, yeah. And if I have something that I feel is a good fit for you, I'm going to send it. They're like, yeah. I was like, that's how we do it.
That's how we do
And
it.
they love it.
Mhm.
Because I'm calling them just to either talk about what we're into or to talk about a deal we have going on or to talk about marketing. That's it. I don't ask them for deals.
No. And that's another thing. I feel like asking people for deals is just, you're going to get shut down automatically.
Now, I will joke with them if it's been a while. I'm like, who you cheating on me with?
Yeah.
And just and it's a little uncomfortable, right? And they're like, what are you talking about? Who you send your deals to?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm just messing with you. And then I go right back to the conversation. Like, and sometimes we just joke and stuff like that. But that's the only way that I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I'm a jokester.
Yeah. I know. Okay. Number 2, networking events.
Yep.
So those, we've met a realtor at Total Wine at like a wine tasting, booze tasting. I don't know what it was.
Yep.
I've gone to, we actually split up a lot for these. I don't know if we've gone to a lot together, but I've gone to somewhere it's a whole bunch of different, different industries.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like networking events.
You can go to the
is a huge
chamber.
one. Yes. Yes.
There's a lot of ways. It's just whatever you're into, look it up in your local area.
Mhm.
If you're into doing the in-person.
Oh, and for women,
networking.
a lot of those women's events, like they're all over the place, in your town.
They wouldn't let me in.
said women. Gosh. So here's kind of a fun one that will get you a lot quickly. So if you go like on Facebook and you ask your sphere, hey, I'm looking for a realtor. Who have you used that you love?
Mm-hmm.
You'll get a ton of comments with tons of people, and those realtors are reaching out to you because they've been tagged. So just to get yourself in front of people and to make those connections, that's a really great way to just make those connections from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one, MMI. So go on MMI, look up people's production. It has their information. So you can either follow those people on social media and start a relationship that way. I know
Yes.
people that send out mailers and, with like, hey, we do free appraisals or something for anybody in our area. I know you do that more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, just look them up, because then you can kind of target like who you think you would have a connection with that's in like the production range that you want to work with. So a lot of times it's tougher to work with someone brand new because they don't know the industry, and it's tough to work with someone that's established doing a ton of deals because they already have probably 5 people that they're working with.
Yeah.
So it seems like that middle ground, someone that's experienced and they're doing 1 to 2 deals a month,
Yeah.
is
That's
really
my favorite spot.
Yeah.
1 to 2 deals a month is my favorite spot.
Yep. And then you can grow together. Like as they grow, you help them grow. And then, chances are that you guys will just keep working together long term.
Yeah. So I do have one last thing is we've been asked for scripts before
Mm-hmm.
for realtors, and I'm not a fan of it. So I wanted to get your opinion on scripts for realtors. And most
What
of these
scripts?
So people are talking about like cold calling realtors and they want scripts on what they should say. And I say, no, don't cold call realtors. It doesn't work out. I know that it has worked out obviously for some people in the past,
Right.
but especially in this market where there's refis are falling through and there's so many loan officers that
I think
are hungry.
I think it's a better approach to kind of social media, stalk them out, see who you feel like you would have a connection with based off of what they're into, what they post, how they act, and then pick maybe your top 12 and really try to build a relationship, comment on their stuff, message them about mutual things. Do it in a real human way rather than just cold calling them, and then the phone calls will go from there.
Yeah.
So let's say that you're building a relationship with somebody, and then there's a certain area that you have a potential client or that you just want to get to know, and just say, hey, I have some questions about XYZ area. Do you think you could we hop on a quick call, and you think you could tell me a little bit more about it? Do you know about this area? They're most likely going to be like, yeah, sure. And then you get their phone number, and it just progresses from there. Like nobody wants to take the time. They're just trying to like have a cheat code, right? To, hey, I don't know you, send me a deal. Like,
yes. I just can't get behind it. I feel like this is a relationships business, and if you want to be in this business long term, you need to cultivate relationships.
right. But
with
if
your
you are
clients
good at
and
cold
with
calling
realtors.
and you just want to grind the phones, it does work. It has worked. A ton of people have built a business that way. We just choose to do it more of an attraction way.
Does it work?
It does. There are people that do it that are very successful. You just have to spend a lot of time, and you're going to get a lot of no's and a lot of there's no relationship built. You're just trying to force it out of thin air. So basically, you're trying to catch somebody as they are new to the business, had a fallout with their lender, and you just happen to call at the right time. And if you're calling over and over and over and over and over for weeks and months, like
They'll block your number.
why not just take those weeks and months
I
and
feel like
cultivate
it's-
it on social
I
media?
feel like it's the same thing though as AEs constantly calling us.
Yeah, no one likes it.
No, if I want you, I know where you are. I'll come find you. I feel like it's the same thing.
Right.
So
Or just sending they send like the blanket information that's like hard to understand because they just give you, not enough. Like, make it simple. Give me some. If you're gonna send me something, send me something of value,
mhm.
and then I'll reach out when I'm ready. That's just the way we do it.
Yeah,
We do,
non-sales sales.
we do more pull marketing rather than like pushing. Right? We're not trying to push people to do things. kind of just pulling them in our it's like a gravitational pull into our world.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all that I've got. I mean, do you have any other ideas that I didn't
No, I think we
write
covered
down?
everything that
I know.
one about the reviews for the listing agent is gold.
Yeah.
Everybody should implement that right away.
I am smart sometimes.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for watching this episode. And like Jessica said, we have a 12-week live workshop going through everything from your social media to your Google to your video to your content to your branding, and just going to go through like just the whole building the basics and the baseline of your mortgage business all the way up to like elite, right? So basics to
Yeah.
elite
And
in
this is free
8
for
weeks.
anybody that's in the master class.
Yep.
So if you're already in it, we'll get you hooked
Yep,
up.
you're in. And if not, then you can go and check out the masterclass on thelocode.com. All right, see you guys in the next one.